How bank runs can wipe out your savings. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you've been following our previous videos, like creating a secure crypto wallet, investing in gold and silver, mastering debt, and assets versus liabilities, you're already on the path to financial freedom. But what if I told you that the money in your bank account isn't really yours? In today's video, we're exposing the shocking truth about how banks actually work, why your money isn't as safe as you think, and what you can do to protect yourself. Here's what we're diving into today. 1. The illusion of money in your bank. 2. The truth about fractional reserve banking. 3. How bank runs can wipe out your savings. 4th, practical steps to protect your money. If you're ready to uncover the secrets of the banking system, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and let's get started. The illusion of money in your bank. When you deposit money into your bank account, you probably assume it's sitting there safely, ready for you whenever you need it. But in reality, the money isn't just sitting in a vault waiting for you. As soon as you deposit it, it becomes the bank's property. You get a promise, a digital IOU, that they'll give it back when you ask for it. Here's the catch. Banks use a system called fractional reserve banking. This means they only keep a tiny portion of your deposit in reserve, sometimes as low as 0%, and they loan out the rest to earn interest. Real life. Example, let's say you deposit $10,000 into your account. Most people imagine that the bank keeps that money in a vault with their name on it. But in reality, the bank might keep only $1,000, or even less, as a reserve. The other $9,000 is lent out to someone else looking for a loan. That $9,000, once spent, gets deposited into another bank, which then repeats the cycle. This creates a system where the same money is counted multiple times, making it look like there's more money in the system than there actually is. It's a lot like a casino, where chips represent money, but are worth nothing outside the casino walls. Quick insight. This is why banks set daily withdrawal limits and sometimes require you to schedule larger withdrawals in advance. It's not about preventing fraud. It's because they don't have the cash. Pro tip: next time you're at the bank, try asking to withdraw a large sum in cash. You'll see just how quickly they start making excuses or ask you to come back later. Eye-opening. Fact. In 2020, the Federal Reserve reduced the reserve requirement for banks to 0%. This means banks in the U.S. are not required to keep any of your money in reserve at all. That's right, your entire balance could be loaned out at any given time. The truth about fractional reserve banking. Fractional reserve banking is the practice that allows banks to create money out of thin air, legally. It's a way for banks to lend out more money than they actually have. And it's the foundation of our modern banking system. But this practice comes with serious risks to your money. How it works. 1. You deposit $10,000. The bank keeps a fraction, say 10%, and loans out the rest. 2. Money creation. The loaned out money gets deposited elsewhere, becoming the basis for new loans. Third cycle repeats. This process repeats, multiplying the money supply many times over. Key insight. For every $1,000 actually held by the bank, there could be $9,000 or more circulating in the system as digital IOUs. This makes the entire banking system a house of cards, ready to collapse if too many people want their money back at the same time. Shocking example. During the 2008 financial crisis, Lehman Brothers, a major investment bank, collapsed overnight because they didn't have enough actual cash to cover the digital promises they'd made. This sparked a global financial meltdown, exposing just how fragile the banking system really is. The dangerous truth. Banks are legally allowed to lend out more money than they actually have, creating a massive risk of insolvency if too many people try to withdraw their funds. This is why central banks like the Federal Reserve have to print money during crises to cover these digital promises with real cash. Pro tip: don't keep all your savings in a single bank account. Spread your risk by holding assets like gold, silver, and crypto that aren't tied to the banking system. A bank run is what happens when too many people try to withdraw their money at the same time, and the bank runs out of cash. It's like a game of musical chairs. If you're not first, you could end up with nothing. How it happens. Trigger: a rumor spreads that a bank might be insolvent. Panic: people rush to withdraw their money, fearing they might lose it. Collapse: since banks only keep a tiny fraction of deposits in reserve, they quickly run out of cash. Real-world examples. Great Depression, 1930s. Thousands of banks collapsed because they couldn't return depositors' money, wiping out the life savings of millions of people. 2008 financial crisis. Northern Rock, a major UK bank, saw long lines of customers desperately trying to withdraw their money. The government had to step in to prevent a total collapse. Key insight. With today's digital banking, a bank run can happen even faster. No need to line up outside a bank. People can withdraw millions with a few taps on their smartphone. This makes the risk of a sudden collapse even greater. Modern risk. Cyberbank runs. With online banking, a few tweets or news articles can trigger a panic. If a major bank's app goes down, people might assume it's collapsing, causing a digital bank run in minutes. Pro tip: keep at least a small emergency fund in cash outside of banks, and consider diversifying into hard assets like gold, silver, and crypto. Bail-ins: when banks take your money. You've probably heard of bank bailouts, when governments use taxpayer money to rescue failing banks. But have you heard of bail-ins? Unlike a bailout, which uses public funds, a bail-in allows banks to rescue themselves by seizing money directly from their own customers' accounts. That's right. Your deposits can legally be taken to save the bank if it's on the brink of collapse. How bail-ins work. When a bank faces insolvency, it can convert your deposits into equity, effectively turning your savings into bank shares that might become worthless. This process is completely legal and has been written into the banking laws of several countries since the 2008 financial crisis. Real life. Example: Cyprus. 2013. In 2013, Cyprus faced a financial meltdown. To prevent total collapse, the government approved a bail-in. Depositors with over 100,000 euros saw up to 47.5% of their savings seized overnight to stabilize the banks. People woke up to find nearly half of their life savings gone without warning. Key insight: many Western countries, including the US, Canada, and the European Union, have passed similar bail-in laws. This means your money is at risk if your bank runs into trouble. In the US, the Dodd-Frank Act explicitly prevents bailouts, but allows bail-ins, meaning your deposits could be next. Shocking fact: when you deposit money into the bank, you are legally considered an unsecured creditor. This means, in a crisis, the bank's creditors, including you, take the losses first. The bank's executives and shareholders are protected, but your money isn't. Pro tip: to protect yourself, avoid keeping large sums of money in a single bank account. Diversify your savings into assets that aren't at risk of bail-ins like gold, silver, and crypto. Why cash isn't king anymore. For decades, the phrase "cash is king" was considered a golden rule of finance. But in today's world, cash is rapidly losing its throne. Here's why. 1. Inflation is eroding your cash. Inflation is the silent thief that steals your money's value over time. As central banks print money at unprecedented rates, the purchasing power of your cash is shrinking faster than ever. In 2022 alone, the U.S. printed 40% of all dollars in existence. This flood of new money leads to higher prices for goods and services, making your cash worth less with each passing day. At an inflation rate of 5%, your $100 today will only buy $95 worth of goods next year. In 10 years, it's down to about $60 in purchasing power. 2. Negative interest rates. In some countries like Japan and parts of Europe, banks have implemented negative interest rates. This means you actually pay the bank to hold your money, making cash a liability rather than an asset. 3. The war on cash. Governments are pushing for a cashless society under the pretense of convenience and security. In reality, it's about control. With digital-only money, governments and banks can track every transaction, freeze your assets, or impose negative rates with a click of a button. Countries like Sweden and China are already leading the way towards eliminating cash entirely. Key insight: holding cash is becoming riskier by the day, not just due to inflation but also due to government policies aiming to eliminate cash entirely. When cash is gone, so is your financial privacy and control over your money. Pro tip: consider allocating a portion of your savings to hard assets like gold, silver, and crypto that can't be devalued by inflation or seized by banks. How to protect your money. 3 key strategies. 1. Diversify your holdings. Don't keep all your money in one bank, or even in banks at all. The risk of bail-ins, inflation, and negative interest rates makes traditional savings accounts a dangerous place to store wealth. Spread your money across different asset classes. Precious metals. As we discussed in our video Investing in Gold and Silver have been stores of value for thousands of years. They aren't tied to any bank and can't be seized in a bail-in. Cryptocurrency. In our video Easy Beginner Guide to Setting Up a Secure Crypto Wallet 2024, we covered how Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies operate outside the traditional banking system, offering a decentralized way to store value. Real estate. Tangible assets like land or property can serve as a hedge against inflation and are less vulnerable to banking risks. Real life. Example: during the 2008 financial crisis, gold prices soared while bank stocks plummeted. Investors who diversified into gold preserved their wealth, while those who relied solely on bank savings saw their net worth decline rapidly. Pro tip: allocate at least 10 to 20% of your savings to assets outside the traditional banking system for true diversification. Second, hold physical assets. Physical gold and silver can't be hacked, devalued by inflation, or seized by a bail-in. They're universally recognized and hold intrinsic value. Unlike cash, which loses purchasing power over time, gold and silver have historically appreciated during times of economic uncertainty. Example: from 2000 to 2020, gold's price increased by over 500%, while the US dollar lost 33% of its purchasing power due to inflation. Investors who held physical gold instead of cash not only preserved, but significantly grew their wealth. Pro tip: store your physical gold and silver in a secure place outside the banking system, like a personal safe or a non-bank vault, to ensure it's truly safe. 3. Use DeFi and crypto. Decentralized finance. DeFi allows you to lend, borrow, and earn interest on your assets without banks as intermediaries. You maintain control over your funds, avoiding risks like bail-ins or bank failures. Crypto wallets give you custody of your funds, meaning no one can freeze or seize your assets, not even the government. Reference: in our video Easy Beginner Guide. To Setting Up a Secure Crypto Wallet 2024, we covered how to secure your crypto assets and the importance of self-custody to protect against risks from the traditional banking system. Real life. Example: during the 2022 Canadian trucker protests, the government froze bank accounts of participants and donors. However, those who held crypto in self-custody wallets were unaffected. This highlighted the importance of financial sovereignty. Key insight: as governments push for central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, that offer complete surveillance and control over your money, decentralized options like Bitcoin become even more valuable for preserving financial freedom. Pro tip: use hardware wallets for crypto to protect your assets from hacks and keep your keys secure. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. Summary and key takeaways. Your bank deposits are actually IOUs. The money isn't really yours once you deposit it. Bail-ins allow banks to legally take your money if they're in trouble. Cash is losing value rapidly due to inflation and negative interest rates. To protect yourself, diversify into assets like gold, silver, and crypto, as we discussed in our previous videos. Hold physical assets outside the banking system. Use DeFi and crypto wallets to maintain control of your money. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. And comment below, what's one step you're taking to protect your money from the banking system? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.